Hey everybody.
Just getting set up here, make sure that the sound is okay. Can everybody hear us? I see there's a few people here waiting, so we're just gonna make sure the sound's okay. Picture up.
We've got a beautiful day for you in the Bahamas today.
Isn't it gorgeous? A little bit of a wind.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna test this our little fur microphone. See if that's getting some decent sound here. Does anybody have a sound check for us? See if we have comments.
Hey, we've got someone from the Netherlands. Welcome. Hello, Jennifer.
Is anyone seeing?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Great.
Oh, excellent.
Hear you loud and clear. Yay.
Oh, perfect. Thank goodness, because this is our good microphone. It's better than using the phone microphone.
Yeah. Hey, Colorado. Loud and clear. Greetings from Italy. Wow, we got folks from everywhere today. Welcome.
Italy, wow, Italy. Hold on a minute.
So-
It's like 10 o'clock at night in Italy. So you're probably just finished dinner.
Portugal is listening.
Muito bon.
Bucharest. Wow, we're just so delighted to have friends from all over the world like this. Montreal, yay, Canada. Mike Urquhart from Canada. Hi, Mike.
Wow, lots of people.
Daytona Beach. North Pole, Alaska. Well, we're going to warm you up today.
Yeah, it's a hot day down here, actually.
Sherbrooke, Quebec. Los Angeles. Hey, from Denmark. And when will you return to Sweden? Oh, as soon as we can. We had such a great summer sailing in Sweden, didn't we?
Absolutely. Sweden was fantastic. We loved Scandinavia.
Yes, I still have some kroners, so in case we go back, I'm ready. Oh, we got Newfoundland, Kansas City. Hey, foggy Rhode Island.
Foggy.
We got some sunshine for you folks.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day
Ajax,
here today.
Ontario. Wow, Germany, Alabama, Chile. Hey, New Zealand. Wow. Thanks
New
for
Zealand?
being
What
up.
time is
Well,
it in
yeah,
New
what
Zealand?
time is it there?
Probably 4 in the morning or
Yeah,
something.
Nashville, Tennessee. Wow, international party. Slovenia. We had a nice time there too, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Lyon, France.
Time to start.
UK. Croatia. What is the temperature there in the Bahamas?
What is it today? I guess it's 27, so 80 degrees, I suppose.
Yeah,
Feels it's a bit muggy, perhaps.
Yeah, we're getting winds from the south, so it's a little bit more humid today, but not super hot. It's been very comfortable. We've just had a fabulous week, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
We-
been just like a summer week, really. It's
Yeah.
been totally beautiful here. You can see this fantastic blue water. We're anchored in a little corner of Georgetown Harbor here, where the water's only about 3 feet deep at low tide. So that's why we have it all to ourselves over here, and the water looks so pretty blue too.
Yes, yes. An advantage of our swing keel is in bad weather, we can sneak into shallow places that other boats can't get into.
Well, in this case, we had another plan, is because there's a cell phone tower just
Yes.
right there.
Yeah.
So that really helped.
Better signal. So, hey, Ukraine, so we can speak to you in the Ukraine. Portsmouth. Wow, 10 a.m. here in New Zealand. Well,
Oh,
thank
10 a.m.
you.
Okay, good.
Thank
I
you
did
for
calculated that wrong. Thank you.
spending the morning. Okay. Well, today our main topic of conversation at this hangout is our upcoming trip to the Pacific. Now, those of you that have been following us for 30 years,
That must be a fairly small list.
yes, yeah, a small group. Well, you will have seen that we have never sailed in the Pacific before. We've been in the Caribbean, the Northern
Atlantic,
Europe,
Northern
Baltic,
Atlantic, Baltic.
Mediterranean, Irish
Adriatic.
Sea, Adriatic. Yeah, so many great bodies of water. But we have never sailed the Pacific Ocean. And so we are real newbies at this, and we're very excited. You know, you can get very comfortable. We've cruised the Bahamas and Caribbean quite a bit, and it's always fun to go to favorite places. And but now we're going to places totally new. It's the other hemisphere of the planet. The weather systems are different. The names of all the islands are so confusing to me.
Oh,
But
we're getting the hang of that.
we're learning them, and I can't wait to show you. Maybe you could tell them a little bit about our winter so far.
So far we
Where
left,
we're leaving from.
as we just put up a movie yesterday on YouTube, so if you've seen that, then you saw us leaving from Jacksonville, and that was just about 2 months ago. And we headed from Jacksonville down across the Gulf Stream and came into West End and saw a little bit of the Bahamas, the Northern Islands, before we came down to the Berries again and revisited that for the first time. In 30 years we were in the Berries, our first time. And we're just working on a video for that one for you. That'll be coming up next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've been enjoying the Exumas, which is just one of our favorite spots.
Yeah.
We revisited some wonderful places. The watercolor down here, as you can kind of see in the background, is just everywhere, and it's just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's an incredible blue.
Yes.
And we had a couple of weeks with sail away guests on board, and we got to do some exciting stuff exploring Long Island. And then we had a wonderful cruise with some people who just went home again a couple of days ago.
Yes,
As,
yeah.
we had a great
Members
cruise.
of our Distant Shores Cruising Club. We'll tell you
Yeah.
more about that if that's a new thing for you. And we've got some questions coming in here. Somebody's asking any advice for two people planning to retire to a sailing lifestyle. Well, we just did a seminar at the Toronto International Boat Show, a half-day seminar on sailing as a retirement lifestyle. So we have lots of advice on that. Most of the people cruising are retirement age and have been in retirement for a while. Though when you watch YouTube channels, everybody's 30 and really good with social media. So people sort of get a skewed vision of that, don't they?
Yeah, the cruising crowd average age is in the 50s, I would say.
Yeah. Older.
Probably mid 50s,
Yeah,
late 50s. That's
yeah.
an average of everybody.
Yes, sure.
So, and they go right up to 80-year-olds, as we see
Yeah.
around here.
Oh yeah, yeah, all ages. But back to your question, we are going to be putting up that seminar online, so there'll be lots of information there.
Yep.
So hope that is useful for you. Yeah, and my wife is a ginger and wants to know what SPF Cheryl uses.
You can do that one.
Yes, I'll answer this question. Yeah, well, when we before we started cruising and Paul wanted to do this, I was a bit nervous about that because I have fair complexion and red hair, and I didn't think a life in the tropics would be suitable for me. So we chartered in the British Virgin Islands, and by the way, that's a great thing to do if you've got a partner or family members hesitant about the sailing life. Like that totally sold me on the idea.
That was magic.
And for as far as sun protection, we have lots of screens and bimini covers on the boat. I'm usually wearing a hat, all of us are, but for filming it's better not to have the hat on so our face is in shadow. We've got Dinghy zooming by here. So as soon as I wake up in the morning and I have my shower, I put on SPF 15, just general, all over. And then I put number 30 or 50 on my face and my hands and my arms, places that get exposed a lot. And I wear long sleeve shirts. Columbia shirts or Tilly shirts are really great. So that has served me well. I just had my 60th birthday and I think my skin is pretty good.
You look great, honey.
Oh, you're the best.
What other questions have you got there?
Where in the Bahamas are you? Eleuthera is my favorite, but they are all beautiful. That's from Jim Marshall.
Can I just turn the camera around and show you our view? So this is Georgetown Harbor, looking around the harbor there. There's about 300 boats anchored in here, and it's still plenty of room to anchor. We have this little corner just to ourselves actually, and there's plenty of room for other boats to anchor. There's about 300 boats here, and Georgetown's a great hangout.
Yeah, it really is. There's a great cruising community here. Many people come down every year and spend the winter here, and there's a VHF radio net where every morning activities are announced, and it's a really great place to share information and connect. And I just got a comment here that the 30-year fans are a small group but loyal. Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you all.
It's been really great here. We've met lots of people who who've been seeing the channel, and that's really nice when we walk around, and so that's really fun. I mean, it is nice with YouTube because we get the shows out fairly soon. People are seeing them, and then they're here, and we meet them, and we get feedback on the programs we make, and that's really great. In fact, we ran into a couple of YouTubers, other YouTubers down here too.
Yes, yeah, Ryan and Jessica.
Ryan and Jessica, and the little
Kira.
Yeah. Little Kira, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they were here filming, and of course we've met Delos and are in touch with Sailing Uma, fellow Canadians.
Yeah.
And Ruby Rose, Sailing Yacht Ruby Rose.
Yeah, they're probably
also
remembering these Bahamas islands.
Yeah,
so.
they have a Southerly 38, and so they can sneak in the same quiet places that we do. Yeah, so when someone says, are there going to be 30 years of Pacific adventures?
We're going to have to up our pace a little bit.
Yeah, enough islands to do that, I think. Yeah, at home, we have a condo townhouse up north of Toronto. We find it's really good sort of having most of the year on the boat, about 8 months, and then some time at home to be in touch with family and friends. And Paul built this big glass-covered coffee table that's the size of a nautical chart. So we have had the Pacific planning chart on that coffee table
for a couple of years now.
For a couple of years, just trying to learn where everything is and what the names are of the places. But we've had a great winter, or autumn and winter, here in the Bahamas, which is one of our favorite cruising grounds. But we're not going to be back here for a while because next week we have another group coming to join us, another Sail Away Week crew.
Yep.
They will do the 6-day passage with us from the Bahamas. The idea is straight to Panama. We're using Jamaica as a backup if we need to pull in for weather or emergencies.
Yeah, and we'll look for a window to jump out through the Bahamas to Great Anagua, and then through the Windward Passage between Haiti and Jamaica, and Cuba, I should say, and then on down to Jamaica, where we might stop to wait for a nice window to cross over to get down to Panama.
Yes.
And then there's a bit of planning gone about that. We have an agent who's been looking after setting up the transit of the canal to get that sorted. And then we're working on the next leg plans to get over from Panama to the Galapagos and onwards to the Marquesas. And it's interesting. There's a really long way, almost 4,000 miles total. It can be broken up by stopping in the Galapagos, and we've been kind of on the edge of whether that's an interesting thing or not. It would cut a few days off, but then it's quite expensive to organize it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of processes as well. You have to have the bottom of your boat cleaned before you go there and get a certificate to prove that it's fine. You have to have your boat fumigated, whether you need it or not, and do get a certificate to prove that it's fine.
That's interesting.
And then there's all kinds of restrictions on the food that you can bring into the Galapagos. And on a sailboat, you're very restricted to where you can travel with your boat. There's the lowest level permit is just the first port. And then after that, there's another more expensive permit you can get where there's 3 ports you can go, but you really can't cruise around the islands. And so we're offering it on our Sail Away Week schedule, but so far we haven't had any takers on it.
Yeah, the idea would be, the way I designed it was that we would have the leg of sailing from Panama to the Galapagos. And then in the Galapagos, the idea was people would spend a number of extra days and tour the island on their own. So that's why we were thinking of how it would work. And then we also would kind of tour around rather than trying to travel with the boat, which you can't really do.
Yeah.
We would sort of leave the boat parked.
On your bucket list to see the Galapagos, we have 2 opportunities. You can sail with us from Panama to the Galapagos and then do tours around with the official guides there, or fly in ahead of us leaving for the Marquesas and do the long passage. That's been one of the challenges we found about cruising in the Pacific, is the distances between island groups are enormous.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of passage making. And I know a lot of you love to join us for the experience with passages, but sometimes, 3-week passage, that's hard to get that time off. We understand that. So, but take a look at the schedule. If you would love to join us, we'd love to have you. We really have a lot of fun, and we design our Sail Away Weeks to meet the needs of the people that are on board. So if you want to learn sail trim, we'll focus on that. If you don't want to participate at all, you can just come along for the ride. I mean, it's really you participate as much or as little as you want, and see some great places on a beautiful boat, I must say.
Yeah. What other questions have you got there, honey?
Let's see. Oh, YouTube got me into sailing. Oh, will we be doing our Pacific shows on DVD? We have decided this year to stop producing DVDs. We've just found...
But feel free to write down in the comments if that doesn't work for
Yeah,
you.
if you like DVDs and we get enough response.
I've got this big, expensive robot that can produce DVDs, and I'm kind of...
Yeah, we find most people now like to download, so we'll be adding new videos to Vimeo on demand. You can get them in high definition and download them at any time. If you go to our website, distantshores.ca for Canada, and just check under our store, there's the links to how to download all 130 episodes of Distant Shores, and we've got another 10 that we're just about to put up on Vimeo if you'd like them. But we're finding now more and more people are watching on YouTube. And so we have formed our membership site, the Distant Shores Cruising Club, where people support our videos. So far we're doing 2 a month because we're still producing for television. So it's hard for us to do weekly YouTube videos at this point. But we're really hoping and planning to do more on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it works great for our cruising life. It seems to please the cruising sailing community. And of course, everyone can see it when our shows are on television, or for shipping DVDs. It kind of limits the viewership. But if you love DVDs and hard copy, please write in the comments below, so we can always change that plan.
The DVDs look pretty good, but it is really nice to see an HD something, at least 1080. Although as we're putting up all the 4K stuff on YouTube, that looks great.
Right.
It looks so good.
Got a question about solar panels. What solar panels do we have, and who built our arch?
We had the arch done in Gibraltar. It didn't get done at the factory when things got a little behind in the final build schedule, so we didn't get the arch done there. So we did a arch, and we had it fabricated in Gibraltar. It's done by a group in Gibraltar. I forgot the name of there's only really one person who does that, so if you look it up, or if you need it, if you are in Gibraltar. Otherwise, we've got 5 100-watt panels on top, and it would be nice to have a little more. It's not quite enough power for what we use. In the height of the summer sun, on the days when we're not editing all the time, we have enough power for everything. On days when we edit a lot, or in the middle of the winter and it's cloudy, then we definitely need a bit more help. But 500 watts, it's a great amount of power, at least as a backup, and does a fair bit of our needs.
Yeah. Question about our flag. We're both Canadian, but the boat is registered in Jersey, and we fly a UK or British ensign.
Yeah.
And we registered in Jersey, not so much for a tax benefit. We have always, for many years, been insured by Pantaenius Yacht Insurance in the UK.
22 years.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
they have served us great in the very few instances that we needed insurance coverage. And just as we were getting the new boat registered with a Canadian flag, they got new regulations that they could no longer take care of Canadian registered vessels.
Too bad.
And we just really like dealing with them. They're very supportive of our TV show and videos. And so to continue the relationship, if we kept the flag British, we could continue with them. So that's why we did. And Paul has a UK passport. He's a dual citizenship. His parents are British. So we do have ties to the UK. And we fly our Canadian flag on the crew halyard on port side.
It's funny because our registry port is Jersey, and down here, most people haven't heard of Jersey, so everyone says, "Is that like New Jersey?" I go, "No, it's Old Jersey. It's the original
Jersey."
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
So lots of conversations about the flag. But thank you for asking. And what type of connectivity will we have during our passage? That has been a huge improvement in
Oh, yeah.
30 years of cruising, I'll
Well,
tell you.
connectivity is ridiculous. I mean, we're sitting here in Georgetown in the Bahamas.
At
We're on our
anchor.
boat. Granted, we did move close to the tower to get super high speed,
Yeah.
but you know, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix at night, all that stuff around the land. But when we get offshore, we use the Iridium Go, which is a little box. I don't have it in here in front of me, but it's a little box that gives you kind of a hot spot to get internet anywhere. It's extremely slow, so you get access to email and grid files, and that's really the best. The predict wind we use for the grid files, so that's really a great system for that. And you can even send little pictures from your camera, like the app is right on your phone, so you shoot your phone and send a photograph, and it just squishes the photo really small, so down to 35K, and it can send it. So it's very slow, but it works all over the world.
Yeah, it's
it's
really
been a
made
good
a
system,
difference.
yeah.
Yes. And our parents love it because they can track us
Yeah.
on Predict Wind app. And you are welcome to do the same on our homepage at distantshores.ca.
Yeah.
Scroll down and there's a Predict Wind tracker, and it will show you where we are, even at sea.
Yeah.
So it's good. We've got hello from Adrian and Jeff Cohn, members of the Distant
Oh,
Shores
hey, guys.
Cruising Club that we met up with in Staniel. We were just back there a few days ago thinking about you
Yeah.
as we ate fish tacos and yummy things at the Staniel Key Yacht Club. Congratulations on your new boat, by the way. Yeah. Oh, we got someone from Poland. Welcome. And which insurance, this from John Croucher, which insurance claims have you observed to be the most common across the sailing community?
Which insurance claims would be common? I guess a number of people have lightning issues.
Yeah, theft, I guess.
There's some like the dinghy theft, that kind of
Yeah.
outboard, more outboard than dinghies.
Yes.
Around the world, people need outboard motors, fishermen and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I guess we could ask. You'd have to ask an insurance agent exactly, but
Yeah, we
I
had,
think on
we
the
had
race offshore ocean, I was just going to say on
Yeah.
ocean offshore, different versus sort of cruising the Caribbean or coastal cruising. So I think small petty theft kind of items around the coastal cruising, and then items to rigging are the biggest single issues for problems when you're offshore cruising, I think.
Yeah.
And then lightning
breaking
is
of
sort of all
gear.
over in the tropics.
Yes. Yeah, and we just made a recent claim. If you saw our previous videos on our fuel filter problem around Cape Hatteras, we had to get a tow into Beaufort, North Carolina.
We sailed
And-
180 miles or something,
Yeah.
but then the last mile into the very narrow tidal
Yeah, very
channel up to the
strong
dock, we
current
knew we
running.
would need a tow in, otherwise we'd hit a boat. So we got towed in the last mile.
Yeah.
So
And
the insurance company
Pantanius
paid it. So
reimburses us for that.
Those guys are great.
So yeah,
shout out to
and-
Pantene.
yes, for sure. Good. What's from Carl Franklin? What's the chance you'll turn the Pacific sail into a circumnavigation? Why or why not?
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
We've certainly been thinking about that, and a number of people have asked us. I
Mm-hmm.
think my goal is always to see places, and I really think we'd love to see the Pacific Islands.
Yes.
The Tuamotu sound just so exotic. The Fiji and Bora Bora,
Yeah.
Rarotonga, the Marquesas, Nukuhiva. There's all kinds of places we've all read about in books, and that's really where we're going.
Yes.
So then, obviously, when you get there, it's more likely, as you say, to turn it into a circumnavigation and come back again.
Yeah,
So I think
we have
that's the
ever
plan.
since we started cruising, we have been hesitant to say we're going to go around the world because
Yeah.
that's such a big commitment. And
But once we want to see the Pacific,
Yeah.
then you
yeah,
It's
and
logical.
and also Paul and I are like to leave ourselves open to opportunities. And we're constantly changing our plans. We've been changing our boats, all kinds of things. So we thought, well, let's just focus on the South Pacific. We want to spend a few seasons there and see as much of those distant shores as we can, and then we'll talk about.
we'll
Sailing
see how
on.
that goes.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
We'd like to do it, but if we don't,
Yeah.
we'll do something else. And I mean, we 30 years and we still love cruising. We love the lifestyle. We love that every day is different and exciting. and the people you meet are wonderful. And it's very nice to be part of an international community, and it really is a brotherhood, the sailing community. So, question about our dinghy. Why have we chosen this dinghy? What do we like about it? How about a dinghy anchor?
Yeah, we actually have a high field 10 foot. I think it's a 3.1 meter, whatever's the exact model of that, with the rigid aluminum floor in it. So that has been great so far. We've had it for, what is it, a year and a half now, I guess, coming up on 2 years. It's really tough. It's beautifully built. It's no trouble at all.
Yes.
We have a little engine for it, a 5-horse Tohatsu, the NS Marine ones. And that's been pretty good. Around here, everybody has a bigger motor. But then we don't like the motor to be too big. You can't carry the dinghy up on the beach so
Yeah,
easily.
we're always dragging the dinghy up on the beach and exploring. And with this size of outboard, one of us can plane in the dinghy. If there's two of us, it's a little tougher to do
I won't
unless
plane.
it's a calm day.
No, I won't plane.
But carrying gear, especially not. But we have, for a dinghy anchor,
Oh yeah, we got a little tiny Danforth, which is a funny story because 28 years ago, going for a scuba dive just up here, just a few miles up from here, we
Yeah.
went out for a snorkeling spearfishing expedition, and we came up with a couple of lobsters and a fish, and found this little dinghy anchor that was on the bottom that had got
Yeah,
lost.
somebody
And it was a little bit
lost it.
rusty.
Yeah.
So for 28 years, we've been using that as our dinghy anchor. It still works. It's a lot more rusty now, but it's still a great anchor.
Yeah.
It's just a little tiny Danforth. We keep it in a bag with about 50 feet of rope,
Yeah, just
And,
a canvas tote bag.
and then you can just pick it up and throw it in the dinghy and use it as a stern anchor. So good and
Yeah.
light and easy.
Yeah, it's good. We started off with this blue plastic anchor. It was supposed to be so great because it wouldn't puncture your dinghy. Well, it didn't actually puncture the bottom either, so the thing never really
Yeah, it was
worked.
no good.
So it was a gift from Neptune to get that little dinghy anchor that we've used all these years. Yeah. Oh, any plans to sail here in Brazil from Marcos Costas? A passage around Cape Horn, maybe?
Well, that would be a passage around the Cape of Good Hope. I think that ties into the previous
Yes.
question. We would definitely stop at Brazil if we do leave the Pacific and go on through the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
I think we would do that.
We actually sailed to Brazil on our very first 3-year Atlantic Circle. In 1992, we sailed from the Canary Islands down to Fernando de Noronha, and we had plans to carry on to Fortaleza and had mail sent there. This was before the day of email, and we just had such a fabulous time filming spinner dolphins and all the marine life in the islands at Fernando de Noronha, off the northeast corner of Brazil, and look forward to going back there. So Marcos will probably see us there again. How about the boat projects you're working on right now in preparation for this trip?
I've got a few little things I've been working on. I think there's always something to do on the boat. We still have a few jobs to just get everything sorted out. One of the ones has just been getting the water maker tuned. I think it's still got some sort of little problem. I really like this water maker. It's called a Little Wonder. It's small, that runs off 12 volts and very simple, but it's producing a little less than it's meant to. So I think perhaps I've let the membrane get a bit fouled. So we'll take a look at doing that.
Yes,
What
and
else was I doing? Just
actually, I just had a water maker injury.
Oh no. Oh man, I am so in trouble.
We
I was working on the water maker and I'd pulled up the floorboards to get down, and one of the back floorboards on the step down into the back cabin, our gorgeous aft cabin. I had pulled out the floorboard, closed the through hull, and left the floorboard out. So then in the dark last night, Cheryl didn't notice the
I
floorboard
didn't
was
see it,
out.
and I
when
was
she stepped
carrying a
down.
bag of laundry,
Oh, man.
and down I went, and here it
That's
is.
beautiful, honey. That's really.
I have sprained my ankle. I can't stand on it, so I'm resting it for a few days before our passage to Panama.
It's better. It's getting better already.
Yeah, I am healing very quickly, so lots of ice and rest and elevation and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oops.
So,
I'm in trouble. Still in the dog house.
well,
over here.
I should have been watching where I was going.
I put all
especially
my
if I'm
tools away. I
carrying
tidied
something.
everything up, and the light was off in the aft cabin. And I forgot about the hatch.
Really, in all the 30 years we've been cruising, I don't think we've ever like had an injury that we kind of worried might hold us up. But all is well. I mean, living on a boat is such a healthy lifestyle, and you stay strong because you're always
Yeah.
moving and swimming and hiking.
Yeah.
So it, it feels good that I'm healing fast.
I'm making you dinner tonight, my dear. Find us another
yeah,
question.
who can I? What else? So hi from Gareth Goodchild. Greetings from Indian
Gareth.
River. Looks a bit warmer there. Gareth and his wife Sheryl sailed with us in the BVI a few years ago.
That was a great time.
And we just met up again at the Sail Away Week reunion dinner at the Toronto Boat Show in January.
Yeah.
And it's always great. We have so much fun with people that sail with us, and we have lots of events afterwards to stay in touch. And fun.
I really do
Wow.
enjoy that, having people on board. It's
Mannix
really fun.
Watts likes our shows from Hong Kong.
Wow.
Awesome background view. Thank you. Wow, Hong Kong. We got Czech Republic here. So many
that's
of you
great.
from all over. Let's see what else. So many great questions. Hey, Robert Verkerk. Just got a new boat. Our brand new Dufour 390 GL arrived just from Boot Dusseldorf in the Netherlands, Lemmer. Watching videos you make help a lot. Thanks, and maybe one day. Thanks again, guys. Well, congratulations
Yeah,
on
it's
your new
exciting.
boat. That's wonderful. We're just so touched to be a part of everybody's story and preparation. If you're thinking of going cruising, here in Georgetown, we've met so many people that have
Yeah.
watched our shows over the years, and they're now here with their own boats and have been all kinds of great places.
Yeah.
It really means a lot to us that you enjoy the programs and that they're helpful to you. So please, continue to comment to us on things you'd like to see more of, less of. We really value your opinions and
Yeah,
comments.
we do read all
and-
the comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
And try to respond to as many as we can.
Yes.
We appreciate them and like that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's the nice thing I think about YouTube. It was always fun being on television, and if we went places that had the channel was on in that country, then we'd get recognized.
Yeah.
But YouTube is much more direct. Everyone watches and then can comment right away, and
Yes.
so that's a nice advantage.
Yeah. Somebody was mentioning that sailing, or Project Atticus and Sailing Sophisticated Lady are also headed for.
They are in Panama now, I think,
Yeah.
or they're going there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't seen Rick in them for a while.
Rick used to belong to the same yacht club as us, so we've known Rick for years and years and enjoyed all his videos. And we just met that lovely couple from Project Atticus at the Annapolis Boat Show in October.
That'll be nice to meet up.
Yeah, we did some, we helped Lynn Party with her seminar for Cruisers University, talking about YouTube and blogging and so on. So very nice to meet up with them. And Straits of Magellan or Panama Canal to access the Pacific, from Keith Olson. Well, we're doing the Panama Canal. Paul and I love engineering, and if you've seen some of our videos, we've done a lot of canals. I mean, we love passage making and oceans, but it's fun to travel inland and do canals too. And I mean, the Panama Canal, isn't it one of the 7 modern wonders of the world?
It sure is. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks incredible, and the newest canal is another really clever
That's
add-on to it. So I think we've had so much fun with all the canals. I mean, we enjoyed the European canals, and the French canals were a real highlight for us. I was just rewatching a little bit of that, looking at Nick and Teresa's travels in the French canals, and it's nice to see that they had fun with that. So if you're interested in canals, give those guys a look too. So
Yes,
definitely.
yeah, we're really looking forward to filming that, and I'll be blogging on that too, because so much of the preparation with the Panama Canal, it's paperwork, and that makes for pretty dull television, but it's really useful to know when you're planning. So we'll share that in our blogs. And also, I have to say, one of a resource that we use a lot when we're cruise planning is the website noonsite.com. That's noonsite.com. And it's managed by the World Cruising Club that runs the ARC rallies and various rallies, Caribbean 1500, World ARC. And it's updated by cruisers that are out there, and it's really a fabulous resource. So, if ever you're planning any destination, we always check out noonsite.com, and it tells you the facilities, the check-in procedures.
And it's very up to date.
Yeah, it is very up to date.
Cruisers, and it's kind of like a wiki that people add
Mm-hmm.
emails to it and latest experiences, so it's quite outdated. So that's really good.
Yeah, I'll add the links to the comments later. But right now I'm enjoying talking to you rather than typing.
No,
So, yeah.
It's difficult.
Another really good resource for cruise planning is Jimmy Cornell's World Cruising Routes. And we have a very old copy, but basically they never change. It's the time of year that it's best to sail to the Azores and what the common routes are, or the time of year to go through the Panama Canal or across the Pacific, when's hurricane season, when, it's just a really nice book full of charts that you can just help plan the time of year to do things and what the most common routes are. So we use that a lot for planning this Pacific trip.
We got a couple more questions.
Yes, yeah.
How's our time?
What navigation equipment isn't essential but really, really helpful? Well, all our guests have a lot of fun with our sextant. We have a beautiful
That's
new
true.
Celestier sextant, plus our old plastic
Davis,
sextant.
That one's been through the wars a little bit.
Yeah,
that,
it even
that
went
old
through
one.
Hurricane Irma.
That old one's 30 years old.
Yeah.
But it's fun to get them out, and we like to try
Yeah.
just showing people how to do sextant sites, how to just hold it and make a site, how to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun activity, and I think but
Yeah.
it totally is, of course, not essential anymore, as your phone
Right.
can do everything.
Yeah.
But
But it
But
does
good.
always feel good to
yeah,
have it as backup and to know how to use it. And you feel connected to the planets and
Yeah.
the old seafarers. So that's a good thing to do during the winter, is an online course or something with a sextant.
yeah.
Learn that kind of stuff. Keeps your mind in sailing. And
The other thing I like to do a bit of is rope work, and that's a fun thing to do. We do some splicing stuff and make some of the new splices with the Dyneema rope I've been practicing, and it's always fun to get out other ropes and do splicing and not work when people are on board.
Yeah.
Oh, you got another fun
I
question?
got a nice one from Keith Walker in Scotland. Keith
Hey,
is
Keith.
joining us on Wednesday, and he's set to sail to Panama with us. Nice to know about the reunion dinners, but more importantly, what's for dinner on Wednesday? I have a lovely flank steak dinner planned for you, my friend.
Very good.
Yes, we're going to have dinner on board at anchor
haven't-
in this beautiful harbor. And then we'll be joined. We have a couple from Italy joining
Yes.
us. They're actually flying tomorrow to Miami.
Oh, exciting.
And it's so much fun to have everyone aboard from all over the world, and they stay friends. And we've had so many people come back a second time.
Yeah, that's been really
So,
great.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So hope you might be able to work that into your schedule. Let's see.
Oh, it's nearly happy hour here. The sun's getting a bit
Yes,
lower on
it
the horizon.
is.
The colors going out of our beautiful water.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have to go get a rum drink in a minute.
we've got a question from Lucian. Paul, what is the water temperature? Water maker output is rated if water is at 25 Celsius. Colder water is less output. Well, I think it's 27 or 28.
Is it as high as 28? It might be. Depends on this
Yeah.
bay and the harbor.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. I should check that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should. I ran
Okay.
cleaning solutions through the water maker today, and it seemed to improve a little, and then after the second solution, it didn't work as well. So.
David C. is asking, how many liters of fuel and water does DS3 carry?
We've got about 680 liters in 2 tanks of fuel, which lasts us quite a long way. I think if we're a bit careful with it, we can motor 1,000 miles, which is crazy. And water is about 480, and that's 1 tank. I think it would have been nice to have that in 2 tanks. And there was an option on buying this boat to have a second tank up out of up in the bow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want extra weight up there, but it might be nice to have a spare tank. But really, 480 liters, which is about 130 U.S. gallons, I think, roughly. Not really good at U.S. gallons, but 480 liters anyway. Yeah.
Yep, they're all topped up, ready to go. Okay, well, looks like we have come to the end of our conversation here. I will go back through the comments and try to answer some of your questions. And we also mentioned that we would explain the Distant Shores Cruising Club. This is a membership site that we have always wanted to form, and we decided to put it on Patreon. We're not looking for you to help us go cruising, but we really appreciate the support of our video production. Now that DVD sales are down, and it's a very fun way for us to give back to you by doing special member-only chats, member-only meetups at boat shows and various locations while we're cruising. And we do what else? There's special screensavers that we send to you, and all kinds of different things. So if you look for Distant Shores TV on Patreon, it will say we're creating the Distant Shores Cruising Club, and you get discounts on our shirts and hats and things when we get that organized. That's in the works, thanks to Stefan and Lorena, who are assisting us on that. And all coming together soon. So,
and then we've got all kinds of different levels, from sort of $2 and $5 and
up
$10.
to our VIP is this.
I
is
wanted
your
to try
idea.
to explain that.
Yeah.
Because it seems we have a level of $25 for a video or per month, but another level of $250, which sounds
you get
unreasonable.
1 hour of personal consultation. We do a phone call with you once a month, so it's a good thing if you're in planning stage. You can do that one-on-one consultation with us, plus
but that's not really
all
the
kinds
point.
of other things. But the main thing
is that it's meant to be that if you're planning to come sailing with us, and any money you put toward that level of a Patreon is exactly contributed to, taken off the cost of coming on one of our sailing weeks. So
it's credited.
It's basically just paying for it really slowly in advance. If you're thinking of coming on a cruise with us next year, then you could put that much in every video or every month as you like. And then it would accumulate, and then that exact amount will be subtracted from the cost of the sailing
Plus
week
you get all the other benefits of the consultation and DVDs and initial access, etc. Yeah, dinner on board, that kind of thing.
That's why that's rather unreasonable.
But all this information is on the Distant Shores website, which is distantshores.ca for Canada. And the Sail Away Week schedule is on the top menu. All our DVDs and downloads are also on there. Information about Patreon, and also, as I said, our Predict Wind tracker, so you can follow us as we do this passage to Panama. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for spending some time with us. It's been great. I think it's
great to do
thank you to the local cell phone provider who has seemed to have who seems to have a strong enough cell phone that we can actually just run this off cell phone connection, which is great.
And they have
we'll try to
enabled
do that again.
us to upload our YouTube videos for you.
Yeah, uploading a 2 gigabyte file here while we're in a remote island and we cannot even actually see a cell tower is pretty incredible.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So
wherever you are, we send you this beautiful tropical sunshine, and thank you for taking time out of your weekend to spend with us. We'll be doing another live chat next month, and when we get to Panama, we'll be doing one just for our members only with an update there. So please check out the Distant Shores Cruising Club if you'd like to join the club and get some bonus materials.
Yeah, so hugs everybody, and fair winds.
Right. Bye.